Hi everyone, my name is Rick and I'll welcome you back to my garden. As always, I'll give you a garden tour, and today I selected 10 Hoyas that I'm going to be talking about. Some of them are pretty rare, some of them are not, but they're looking really cool right now, so I wanted to share them with you guys. So please hit that subscribe button and let's get to it. It's really a beautiful day here in Central Florida. I'm in St. Petersburg, which is about 20 minutes west of Tampa, on the Gulf of Mexico. So the temperatures are pretty mild in the winter, with usually highs in the 70s and lows in the 60s. And today is going to be like 77 degrees, so it's really beautiful. So let me just go around, show you the garden, and then, like I said, I'm going to show you the 10 Hoyas. So this is my dendrobium. From the cold spell, some buds survived and it's still looking pretty. It's been blooming for almost a month now, probably more. So yeah, I have Hoyas that I brought out. Been slowly bringing them out from the greenhouse out here, and some of them are actually putting out new growth, and some of them are kind of just really enjoying the new temperatures that we've been getting. Mid to upper 70s and lows in the 60s for the next 10 days, so that's pretty exciting. And this orchid over here, it's really quite beautiful. It looks more rust color in person, I think, than it does in the video. I lost the tag, unfortunately, and it really does need to be repotted. I probably can get like 3 or 4 plants out of that. Here's another one that needs to be repotted. That's a project for me to do this summer. And this dendrobium was in bud. You can see it's really pretty. Doesn't really want to focus, but yeah, it was in bud during that cold spell. It went down to 37 degrees and it did not affect it that much at all. And it has 3 beautiful spikes full of flowers. And over here I brought some of the Hoyas. This AH73 is looking quite pretty, getting some sun in the morning. Actually, this new growth looks really nice. And I brought the Saba Borneo out here. And another AH. This one has quite really veiny, waffly looking leaves. They get pretty big, so you can see. And this is AH 733. Oh, I wanted to show you the Nooch came out too from the greenhouse, where it spent most of the winter, and it seems pretty happy to be out here. It's been out here for about a week. And another one that made it out here last week is this Hoya sulawesiana that gets the really fuzzy pink flowers that are quite gorgeous. And the peduncle is, I don't know, it's hard to see, but the peduncle is like 9 inches long. It's pretty cool looking. And some of the orchids are doing pretty well. They survived the cold with a few casualties, but this one just opened up recently. Love the spots, it's really gorgeous. Again, I lost the tag, but it's it's a Cattleya hybrid. And this one is still blooming. So a lot of the stuff is still, kind of slow growing, but once these temperatures stay in the upper 70s for a few days, we will have a lot of new growth. And the Phalaenopsis orchids that I've mounted on the trees they're all budding up, so it's kind of nice. They usually last for about a whole like 6 weeks to a month almost. Even the Jose Bueno just put out a new leaf. It's really, they get bigger as the temperatures rise and the humidity, but that is a really gorgeous leaf on this Jose Bueno. Hard to see where it's going. It's like climbing up this podium here, and I'm going to try to guide it up this palm tree. There's a little lizard there sunning itself. Very common sight here in Florida. So yeah, as you can see, the day is immaculate. It's really beautiful, and the plants are really enjoying it as much as I am, I think. So let me just go over and show you guys the 10 plants that I selected. The first one I have here is a Hoya I've type. But as you can see, this leaf is humongous. And this came from Nursery in Thailand as I've Sukrin. See, I believe that's the location where it was found. I put it, like in the summer, put out a really nice size leaf. And then the winter and the fall, it started putting out these smaller leaves, but I'm assuming that with the heat and humidity, they'll get back to being pretty large. This one actually has a nice amount of splash. So yeah, this is Hoya Sukrin. And here's Swiffer. She had a rough night last night. I guess she had a fur ball, but she's doing much better. And she's out here harassing some lizards. So all is good. So yeah, my next Hoya is this Hoya over here is one of my hybrids. I call it Hoya Peach Bellini, and it's a Hoya Eligorium crossed with a Hoya Incrusata Moonshadow, and it's getting like these really nice blush pink colors under strong light. And this is Hoya 53, and I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but these colors are stunning, and the speckled splash is pretty interesting. It's a really beautiful, easy to grow Hoya. I don't know much about it. All I know is it came from the Hoya Nursery in Thailand. And look at that leaf, it's really attractive. So it's really attractive foliage, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the flowers look like. Now, this is more of an update on my Hoya Crimson Queen Splashy. As you can see, I got that node, these 2 leaves, as a gift back in last summer. And so it's put out all this new growth through the summer into now. And some of the new growth has really nice splash as well. So it's really happy. It has 2 growth points. And hopefully it'll continue to be really splashy like the 2 leaves there. And it looks like it may. And we have some parrots going around the neighborhood. If I can get them on camera, I will. But I can't see them right now. And this is Hoya species 4 from WMZ. WMZ stands for Welsh Mountain Zoo. It's obviously it did not come from Wales, but somehow it ended up in their tropical greenhouse. They have a vast greenhouse there, and they have a lot of Hoyas from what I hear. And this one got the name Welsh Mountain Zoo, species 4. And the flowers are really quite beautiful, and it's a latifolia type Hoya, but the cluster of flowers are really gorgeous, like a coral color. And yeah, and it sun stresses in natural light like this. It's quite gorgeous. The back of the leaves sometimes get these splotches, but it's pretty normal. And the leaves get some splotches too until they turn this color. So yeah, if you don't have this Hoya, it's not the easiest Hoya to grow, but if you keep it on the dry side and keep it, I would say, in a smaller pot so it doesn't root rot for you, it should do fine. And this is Hoya campanulata. It has really splashy, this variety has really splashy leaves, and it gets really nice cup-shaped flowers. I haven't bloomed this particular plant, but I have a few others that I have, and it's quite a beautiful flower, and the leaves are pretty gorgeous. It's a thin leaf, but it's not one of the more difficult ones. I've been able to grow these pretty successfully, so don't be intimidated by the thinness of the leaf. And this is Hoya fungi, and I don't think it gets enough attention because it's pretty common out there, and it's pretty easy to grow, but it's one of the most gorgeous Hoya leaves. As you can see, it gets a lot of veins. The leaves can get pretty big. I've seen fungi leaves that are at least twice as big as that. The flowers are somewhat like carnosa, but they're a little bit different, but very easy to grow. It's pretty resilient to most pests, and it can take some cooler temperatures. And this one is doing really well. It survived all the cold outside here when it got down to 37 degrees, and it's doing fantastic. The next Hoya here is Hoya Affinis, species Affinis calistophylla. It's a variant of Hoya calistophylla, but you can see the veining is a lot more asymmetrical. So it's quite gorgeous, and it was gifted to me by Nest Tropicals, and really happy to have this in my collection. And the next one here is Hoya Copenbergii longleaf. And if you go back about a year ago, I did a video where I took a long bald vine of Hoya, and I inserted a lot of it into the soil, as you can see there, and it rooted and put out new growth. So that's a trick if you want to get more plant from a Hoya vine that doesn't have any leaves. You can try that method. It has a really long peduncle. It's a really gorgeous flower. Right now it's in that little 2-inch pot, but I think I'm gonna have to move it into this bigger pot. And the last one here is Hoya Surisana. It is named after a very talented Hoya hybridizer, Sarisa, in Thailand. And you can see it's quite a beautiful foliage plant, and the flowers are quite stunning, and I'm really happy to have this really nice blooming size specimen. I've actually bloomed another smaller plant that I have, but this one is looking like it's going to give me a lot of flowers this summer, so I'm excited about that. And that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said earlier, I hope you subscribe and come back every Sunday to my channel when I upload a new video. So have a wonderful weekend, and happy President's Day tomorrow.